thought those were all checked already. Okay, the check sounds okay. Now we can do the interview.
All right, let's start. It's time to start.
It was Infinity who was on the track.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Yes.
My mistake,
we won't
sorry.
bother you anymore.
But isn't it the same?
History.
Similar. Yeah.
I was wondering if, in the last few years that I've seen you play in Paris, obviously, the look of the band has evolved to sort of, I don't know if it's Tony Garnier's influence, but from you've become this sort of drifting cowboys kind of Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys outfits, the hats and the suits and the mustaches and everything. Was it just a gradual sort of like common choice, or did you just say, hey boys, let's dress up now?
Well, we kind of dress like people where we're from.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really we don't. It's not a fashionable statement of any kind. I'm not aware that it is.
You had your 60th birthday recently, and all the magazines celebrated it.
Yes.
Did you celebrate it?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, in the usual way. Yeah. Blow out some candles and. That's about it.
Friends, invited some friends.
Yeah, mostly just family people. Yeah.
Are you younger than that now?
Sure, hope so. Yeah, that's the way. That's the song. That's correct. You got that right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Does the amount, the level of celebration around such an event, does that bother you? Does it please you?
No.
All these prizes, you never win before, now.
I know. I'm winning a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
I think they're catching up on wasted time.
I don't know.
We didn't give them nothing for all these years. Let's just dump all these.
Maybe there's an element of that in it. I wouldn't know.
How do you feel about being nominated for the Nobel Prize?
Yeah, I hear about that, but who would that put me in the company of? I'm not sure.
Hemingway.
Oh, Hemingway. I don't really think. I think all those guys that want to write like Hemingway write for Time magazine, and don't they? Hemingway is this.
Steinbeck, your old favorite.
Huh?
Steinbeck is an old favorite.
Steinbeck?
Steinbeck, John Steinbeck.
I'm not sure that I really belong in that category of people because I play. I don't. That's difficult to say. It's all really pretty relative.
You mentioned that the producers are kind of prisoners of the Bob Dylan. How about yourself, having done so many things, being a legend, a myth, or whatever? How does it affect your daily life?
Well, 95% of the time it doesn't affect my life whatsoever. The other part, I mean, you just we who are get involved in fame, we just have to learn to deal with it any kind of way we can.
What kind of strategies are there?
I don't have any strategy for it. I usually try to be as polite as possible.
Do you sometimes wonder why me?
Not at this point. I know what it is I've done to be so famous. So.
But in one of your last conversations with Allen Ginsberg, you said the fame had no redeeming qualities whatsoever. My question is, what would you substitute your fame for with?
Huh?
What would you substitute fame with? I mean, if you weren't that famous, you couldn't do the Ever Never Ending tour and do the albums you wanted to, the way you wanted to, so forth. I mean, fame must have some advantages.
It probably has quite a few. I don't. I really don't do that. Travel in that world of the rich and famous, though. So I don't really feel I'm part of that culture in any way.
Do you find it hard to go to places where you're not being recognized everywhere?
Well, at this point, I'm recognized just about everywhere. Everywhere.
So when was the last time you went out unrecognized?
I don't even remember.
Do you feel that the work you've done, was it be it poetry or singing or the combination of both, that you've arrived at a certain time that in American history perhaps, where you've been allowed to achieve great fame and a certain degree of fortune. Do you consider this lucky compared to doing the same work, but maybe 30 years before you'd have been an obscure artist? Do you think that the same work that you do, gaining this great exposure through the time that you arrived in, is it a benediction? Is it good? I mean, that your work was exposed so broadly. Do you understand?
Sort of. I didn't really choose to do what it is you see me doing. I mean, it chose me. If I had anything to do with it, I'd have been something different. Maybe a scientist, or engineer, or doctor, or somebody who, those are the people I look up to. I don't really look up to entertainers at all. They don't have any meaning for me one way or another.
You must have had ambition in the beginning, ambition to do something. You said music chose you. You also chose music in that way.
Maybe.
Can you explain on the "it chose me"? That's really interesting.
Well, I said it. That's what I did.
Yeah.
In one of the lines, you obviously say that I've been in trouble ever since I set my suitcase down. Is that the theme for you still?
That's the only line that you remember? That's it?
I was wondering whether that's the theme.
Well, what do you want to know? What was in the suitcase?
Interesting, yeah?
Huh? Yeah. I don't know. Or where I set it down. I don't know.
Why did you?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Do you feel good the present time, or you miss something from the past?
Miss?
Miss.
Oh. There must be something, I think I miss plenty, but, I'm not really a very nostalgic person, so I don't really yearn for things like that from the past.
Do you have fun?
Hmm?
Do you have fun?
I'm having fun?
Yeah.
Do I have fun?
Yeah.
Like what? Fun? Well, fun. What is fun? Well, like
enjoy life.
kick a football, or what is fun? Drink.
To enjoy life.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I mean, what choice? Is there any choice? I mean,
people have killed themselves.
You sure? But not on their own accord.
Oh.
That might be enough to discussion.
Did you enjoy the Oscar celebration?
Wasn't that something? I wasn't there. I don't know.
Did you have ever? Do you agree that at some point you reflected your times? It's been said many times.
I think I always do.
How?
I don't think I could reflect any other period of time than the time I find myself in.
Do you try to reflect or react upon the time that you live in?
Probably the latter.
Reactive.
The latter one. Maybe a bit of both. I don't really know.
Imagine yourself being a newcomer nowadays. Will you have any chance in the business?
Me, as a newcomer? I think so. Because if you have the ability and the knowledge and, the strength to do it, that's all you really need. And I think I know more about what I'm doing now than I ever. I know I could find a place if that's what I wanted to do, but I don't think I'd want to do it if I come on now. Like I said, I'd do something else.
Do you keep in contact with George Harrison?
I do. I do that.
Will the Wilburys travel again?
It's hard to say.
What was that period like for you?
The Wilburys?
Yeah.
Well, we made a few records, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, it was a time of great undertaking.
Yeah. It surprised a lot of people to see you as part of a band like that.
Really?
Yeah.
It surprised me too.
Do you feel that you're part of a band now?
Me?
The whole crowd of guys that you play with seems there's a good unity. At least when I saw you on stage, there's a good sort of band atmosphere rather than Bob Dylan with his backup, musicians. Maybe that's due to.
Well, I always try to have a current band or current performers with, the ability to play this music. You never know how long you can keep a band together, or when a band will change one individual to another. I mean, those things are unforeseen, But this particular, group is, pretty competent on can go a lot of different ways musically.
How often is it yourself doing this?
I don't really know. I mean, until one day I just might have had it, I don't know. I can't say when the crowds dwindle down because the crowds aren't dwindling down. But I may just one day have had enough.
What keeps the energy still going?
Huh?
What keeps the energy of still going?
The energy?
Yeah.
Well, it's fictitious, the energy. It's a fictional thing. It's once you set up certain, like anybody who knows how to do anything or who learns how to do it over a period of time, there's certain strategies, stratagems, codes, techniques that all go that play in a certain way. So once you can set these things up and you know how to do them, then the energy and emotion, whatever it seems like is happening, it's just a combination that happens in a kind of in a combustible way. But as far as energy goes, it doesn't take energy. The type of energy you're talking about, it's not that kind of energy is being used.
Do you feel like you're still getting better?
I feel I could get better. If I really put my mind to it.
And I think, for instance, your singing on the new record might be the best I've heard from you.
Well, it may be, but I don't think I'm singing any better on it than I have in the past. I mean, I may be perceived or recorded, in a better way.
Bob, there's well-documented changes in your life, perceived or otherwise, if it's real or not. One of them, end of part one for a lot of people, was sort of after a lot of time on stage and after bringing it all back home, Highway 61 and Blonde, you had a motorbike accident. Whether it was as exaggerated or as real as you might make it out to be, did that allow you to change and be different or be yourself and not be on the treadmill? Or did it make you not be on the treadmill?